Go baby, go baby. Yo, Banter fam. What's up, what's up, what's up? I hope you're all having a fantastic Tuesday. As you can see, I am smiling. I am very, very, very happy. Firstly, it's not the most important thing in my life right now, but firstly, we are starting to crack down on the money season line that we've been talking about in the USDT dominance. This is one we've been tracking now for months. I think it's literally been 4 months in this trend to the upward side. And you know, the last time we had this was the region of where we had the Bitcoin at 65K, then retraced all the way down to 29K, and we had this trend start to form on the USDT dominance. And then what happened was 3 to 6 months later, we then had Bitcoin back at all-time high. So it's not to say that's the exact thing that happened, but end of the day, this is the main trends that we've been tracking. The last time this happened, something massive happened in the markets, and now we have an even larger trend, one that's been going up for a long time, one that's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tests, and now we have finally broken it, showing that USDT is now starting to come back into the market at a rapid pace. And what does this obviously mean for Bitcoin? We started to see the altcoins rally last week. We started to see Bitcoin start to show some good strength. It's actually growing slowly, which is fantastic, and the alts are really starting to surge. So that is something fantastic. And secondly, it is my first show being a dad. First thing, it's hard to not get emotional at times, and I won't. I promise I'll hold it in. But I do want to say thank you so much. I literally received thousands and thousands and thousands of messages. It was one of the most special days of my life. It was first 19 hours of, I wouldn't say agony, but a lot of 19 hours of labor. It was a long time. And then, yeah, Friday, 6 o'clock South African time, the little one came out, and it was an unbelievable feeling. I was lost. I had no idea what to expect. It was a very scary journey, and then it turned out to be one of the most beautiful days of my life. Every single day. We're back at home now. The lady's safe, the little one's safe. Wake up in the morning now, and the little one is laying next to us. It's an absolute joy in my life, and it just gives me another big reason of why we do everything every day, and I appreciate it very much, guys. Life's a lot bigger than just making money and stuff, but this is a nice place on where we start, and it's a nice place to bring us together. But always remember what you're truly doing all of this stuff for. It just gives you that power, and this has given me a new light, and it's made me very, very, very happy. So from the bottom of my heart, Banter fam, thank you for everything. I love you all very much. Now, let's get into this. Yo, Banter fam, to our beloved family, what's up? I missed you guys. And to anyone that is new, make sure you hit that like button. That helps to get the video out there. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and make sure you are following all of our tools and our communications with you guys. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, Sheldon_Sniper. Make sure you're on our website. Make sure you're on our Telegram groups. Make sure you're using all the tools that we have so we can communicate with you guys through the good, through the bad. We are always here. Guys, what a journey. Like, wow, you know, it's actually tomorrow. Tomorrow is a big day for me personally as well. It is my 1 year with Crypto Banter. My one year with Crypto Banter. I remember the journey. 1 year ago, I was sitting in my uncle's room. I was still living sort of in my car, and I was in a little room at the back, and I remember it was, I think it's the 19th or something of March, I met Ran, and we did the first show on the 23rd. The 23rd of March 1 year ago, 420 shows for Crypto Banter. It's where everything changed, guys, where everything happened. So it's massive, guys. Thank you for giving me all the love every day and making me believe I can do it. I don't think you guys realize, I'm about to start down, I'm sorry for this, but I don't think you guys realize what a pillar you have made for me. You know, we've gone through where we've had insane views, massive growth into the thing, and then we've had the downtimes where the markets haven't played with us. But you guys have kept me really strong. To those guys who have stuck with me and believed in me personally throughout this whole process, you've given me a lot of light every day, and you've given me a lot of inspiration to keep doing it every day. A lot of times I wanted to quit. A lot of times I wanted to stop. And your love and support you guys make a very big difference. And I want you guys to know that you guys really, really lift me every day, and you make me believe that I can do it. So thank you, Banter fam. Anyway, let's jump into it. Let's do it. So guys, as I was saying, obviously this is a big step for us, starting to now drop the USDT dominance support line. It is just giving us the basic view of how money is starting to flow back into the market. And we're starting to see that now without the other charts. And this is just another good sign. So we're going to keep track of this and see how far we can go. We would love to now start breaking lower than these lower low points. As we know, if we do break a support trend line, we want to confirm the lower low into play. But this will show us, as much as what it did here, when we start to get a drastic move, we really start to get acceleration in the market. So we start to look at that, and then we obviously jump through and we start to look at where's Bitcoin sitting at. It's looking good again. We had a nice little spike up last night, and look how great this daily charts are starting to work. Last week we caught some beautiful daily trend breakouts, and we just zoomed in a little bit. We know we're still in this phase where we came out the long downwards trend market, and we know we're in this big ranging whale sort of market where the guys are all floating at the top, they're buying through at the bottom, and all we can keep doing is, as we start getting out one or two of these phases, we got to then track and start zooming in into what's happening at these sort of areas and what exactly happened. Now, Bitcoin broke that trend, and all that we wanted to basically see was get us the higher high. Show us that this trend is not just a little fake out again, because if it was a little fake out, it could send us back into this range quite quickly. And that's what we're doing. The last night's spike got us to reclaim the first higher high into play. So that was a great thing to see. Now we're looking at Bitcoin where it touched back, I think it broke up to 43,400 last night, which was great. So the shorter time frame view, everything's playing out great and it's getting to the strong points. We do know though that we still have the big wall at 45. And now that we're starting to get the indication of the USDT dominance breaking, you know, if we start to creep up here, we know we've hit this 1, 2, 3, 4 times we've hit this top wall. And this top wall, the next resistance is only sitting in the region of 50K to the 54,000. So we know how quickly the market can start to accelerate. Now, remember what I spoke to you guys about last week. It doesn't matter how many times in this phase we can start to get a breakout and we get ready for it, and then it becomes a fake out, it starts to come back down. Doesn't matter, guys. You have to be getting in to get ready, because you're going to get that one entry that's going to change everything. And that's why last week we were deploying again and we're going in again. Guys, we're getting another breakout. Be ready for it, because if it is the true breakout, you're going to be smiling, because you're going to be literally sitting at entries at the bottom, and then trading becomes easy and money gets easy. The only hard part is, when do you start taking some off the table? So we have now secured the higher high into play, which is great. I am seeing Bitcoin make its way to the 45K from here. I see the momentum is moving strong here. We're starting to get some good volume in. It's starting to get, obviously, the news and fundamentals are starting to get better within the market. The stock market had a great bounce as well. But now we're starting to get some momentum. So we want to see now Bitcoin make its way to the $45,000 sort of region. Now, I'm going to go through some of the alts where I am taking some short-term profits, as we are still in the big wedge sort of mark. But right now, everything's looking good on Bitcoin. We have a low which is sitting at 40,000. That's what we want to hold as support. But now I'm seeing us now rally our way up to this region over here. Now, what else was the big exciting part of what happened? We then had the dominance now start to lose momentum, if we could call it. Okay, so we have this trend. Let me just mark it up here. We have this trend which we had dominance slow down. We saw it started to slow down in this region, and now we broke it, which was fantastic. So now that just gave us the indication that the altcoins are starting to join the party. And now what I'm starting to see is, you know, we've now made our first lower low in play. So even if dominance has a small push up here, I'm still looking at dominance make its way down. I'm still looking at, if there is any little spikes up from here, it means the market's either slowed down or we're having a short-term pullback in the market. Now, the only thing that will change this dominance to a really strong spike to the upward side is if Bitcoin breaks that 45K region, because then it's going to rally so quick to the 50K zone. It's then going to take a little bit more love again from the dominance, but we always know after that we then get it diversified back into the alts. So even though dominance was showing strength with Bitcoin within the last month or two, it was still very important to get your alt entries, because altcoins are still moving as Bitcoin starts to gradually grow. And you can see over here, if I jump in here, you can see how ETH woke up. Look how ETH now started to break out. ETH has now secured its first higher high too. There's the previous higher high. We have not made higher highs since we have started this downwards trend, guys. Look how we have just made lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. Since we have started this move, for the first time, what are we getting? we are getting our first higher high into play. So that's just showing how we got beautiful breakout plays there. And now we're starting to see the pattern. Guys, all that we're waiting for, and that's what I love about crypto as well, is when it finally breaks out of a phase, it starts to move beautifully as planned. This phase is always the toughest part, because that's the whale war, and the whale war is always going to be a tough part for us. But when it starts to move naturally again, it becomes actually beautiful. Because you catch the retests, the breakouts, you catch the retest, you just want to see high high, higher low. You know, you sort of wanted to play to your plan. And the only time it really ruins that is when we are in sideways phase. But even the downwards phase is the same thing. You know, lower high, you can see it. You can see it very, very clearly. So our ETH entries are beautiful. I'm looking at ETH now. We still have a lot of resistance that's sitting now at the region of 3,100. Which is fine. That's why what I did was I took short-term little TPs on it. This is your trading portfolio. Remember, guys, anyone that's using the money and they need the money, we're getting used to this now. Look at our entry last week. We got the entries spot on, beautifully. We then put our stop loss under previous low. We now move the stop loss up, and now we have our short-term first TP where I'm taking a little bit off the table. I then have a second one, which is around 3,435. This is my trading side. Because this rallies up, I'm taking some. Then when we have the rally down, I'll be buying back some more and I'll be continuing. But this is going to teach me the method that, you know, out of your ETH breakout last week, you made 17, 18% on a major alt. That's great. That's fantastic. We make it to the next level, you know, you're looking at your entry of 40%. You know, we start getting these consistent gains. Remember, our trading portfolio is going to teach us to take profits. It's going to teach us to always have liquidity. It's going to run with stop losses. So if something turns south and Bitcoin goes to 10K, which I never think it will, but if it ever had to, half our portfolio is in cash, baby. It all ran on stop losses. And now we can go and take advantage again and we can load up at those zones. So I'm looking at ETH showing strength. It finally broke the first higher high. This is great. It does have another zone of 3,400, 3,600. And this will be if Bitcoin breaks that 45K zone. I am offloading a little bit slowly as we go up from our trading portfolio. And then we'll wait for the RSI resets because the RSIs are getting a little bit overbought again. So it's just teaching me ladder out. When we catch in, we will load in again. But beautiful, beautiful. This is what we want to see. This is what you practice for and why you work so hard every day. So you can start to get a system when it goes right. And then you know what to sort of do next. We then had DOT. Look at DOT, guys. Beautiful entry. On its way rallying up. Now, DOT's made its first higher high, which is great. I am seeing it run, though, to the region of 22 to 24. I'm taking a little bit of TPs there. Because what you will start to see in these zones is even though we broke the strategy, we broke the structure, this can still happen where we shoot up, we come down and test it again, and then we sort of continue, come down and test. This is sort of how I'm seeing the recovery from a lot of the market at this point. We actually want to see gradual growth again. Normal long green spikes, nice little retraces, long green spikes, we want to see that. We don't want to see something that just takes us straight to the 60K zone yet, because if it's too fast, it doesn't last. You know, very simple. So DOT, beautiful entries, and now what you do is you take your damn stop loss and you put it under the low. There we go. Boom. Risk-free trade. Well done. Successful hit. Now focus on taking some money off the table. So DOT's showing great strength at this point, and I'm still seeing it rally up quite a bit. We then had the EGLD spike as well last week. Let's get it to load there. We come and go. Anytime. I see a lot of people jump onto the platform when I'm live with it, and that's why I can take a little bit of time to load. But let me jump on here and I can show you guys. So EGLD, I'll get it now. Okay, as you can see, RUNE as well. RUNE as well is starting to lose a little bit of momentum. I was taking profits in this region of $7.8 to $8 region. Now, if it goes to $9, 9.5, I'm not too stressed because I know that a long leg like this, we will have a retracement at some time and I'll buy it back at those levels. So DOT was a successful 80, 90, 100% trade, guys. Beautiful. Where did we catch it? At that zone. So RUNE's fantastic. I won't be buying more now. I'd rather be looking at taking some sort of TPs on it. Why am I taking some sort of TPs? Guys, why? Because we're still here. Now, what happens now? Bitcoin rallies through here. What does it do? Test here. So by me getting out of any little positions on some profits that I've made at these zones, I can buy them back if Bitcoin does break out on the retest at the same level. But now I'm buying a confirmation buy, which is fantastic. So I'm not scared to take a little bit off the table at any point of these zones because it's very simple that Bitcoin maybe comes down. Who knows? We'll see as we go. But we're starting to get the method of what we want to see out the market. Now we had the RUNE trade, which was great. We have Fantom. The only thing that will change my mind that was alone Fantom is if we break into this trend and we really rally. But the thing is with Fantom, look how far it still is away from this top trend over here. So even a push to this zone over here will still secure us the lower high, and it can still give us the next leg that can take us to these zones. So for me, I'm not selling Fantom. To sell Fantom now would be ridiculous for me. I'm just looking at the next opportunities on where to load up. So we'll keep track of this one and we'll see how we go and what happens after that. Now, Link as well. Look at the buys, guys. Beautiful. We've got the great breakout buys. We are now looking to secure our first higher low here. My stop loss is at entry. Beautiful into that play. I'm looking at Chainlink make its way to the region of $17, $18. I'm taking a little bit of profits along this little journey. I'm taking a bit in the region where we're at now. I'm taking a little bit there, and I'm taking some more there. Because the worst scenario, Link shoots up, comes and tests, and then we continue the journey. So I'm thinking 3 months of greenness out of this market. I really am. That USDT dominance is giving me a great sign. And I think that's going to be a part of where we want to ride. The only thing is, I'm going to be riding these waves. Guys, the gains are massive. For me to not take anything off of these 50, 60, 70% moves doesn't make sense to me right now. You know what I mean? I'm taking along these journeys. I'm buying back. So what's going to happen now is the market's going to get very volatile. Your range is going to get a lot bigger. You know, remember, sideways market is big because you got basically 30, 40% moves that are running in a sideways market. The difference is when it turns bullish is it's way bigger now. Because now you start getting 80, 90% gains. You get 30% retraces, 80, 90% gains. And it starts to really range out. So remember, you always want to go back to the market cycle and you want to see, where am I? We're finally breaking out of the sideways phase, which now means that the range gets bigger, means your strategy has to change. Remember, in a downwards market, you got a strategy. In a sideways market, you got a different strategy. In an upwards market, you got a different strategy. There are 3 different strategies that you have to be running. And we can see now we're starting to get signs that we're going to break out of the sideways phase, which means you've got to be ready for the next strategy. And what is my next strategy is to understand the ranges are bigger, but don't ignore when you make 70, 80% gains and take advantage of that, because you make your 70, 80% dollar value, you make your 50% tokens. You make your dollar value, you make your tokens, and you can rally up a really powerful portfolio. It teaches you that a certain part of your portfolio is on stop losses, and it just teaches you to start taking money off the table as well. And then you got your hodl that just goes through all of it. That's the one you can't get emotionally attached to, because that one is the one that drives you insane. As long as you got liquid, you're happy. But everyone's upset when the markets come down and we've got no money. So just remember the phases and your different strategies. So Chainlink on fire. To BTC, it's looking fantastic. I'm seeing still Chainlink make another good 20, 30% from where it is. Great entries. What is this teaching you now? You can't be buying these now. You got to go find the ones that are breaking out now recently, and I'll have a look for you guys out to see what is still there to buy right now. But the guys that got those buys, well done, guys. Like, we are on, and it's looking fantastic. I saw Arweave did well. Let's speak about AVAX. I know AVAX is starting to show great strength. And the only thing is we have the big news coming on AVAX, right? We got the event coming up. We do know that it's very similar to what's previous, and that's why I love charts. As much as the news is coming out and that stuff, you know, we can look at AVAX make to its region of $100 to $120. By the time we get there, though, my RSIs are so overbought. Everything's overbought. I'm sticking to the same strategy. This was our buys last week, and we got them perfectly. We got them great. But when we get to these zones, I'm taking some off the table. I know selling the event and that stuff makes a lot more sense, because for me, what does the chart tell me? The chart tells me a rally here, it tells me a pullback here, and then the continuation. So for me, you know what I mean? I'm busy as this thing's rallying up. I'm taking a bit off the table, and I'll load back when we get the RSI reset. So AVAX is showing good strength. One that's looking really good is Theta, and this one's still early. Now, what Theta did was we started out of this long downwards trend. We then started to trend sideways. And you can see now we basically had this beautiful sideways zone, and we're at the point of breaking through on our first higher high. So for me, this one is still one that I'll be looking to enter, and I'll be having a stop loss around 2.7 under the previous low. But this is one that's early for me, and it can look at a strong gains that could take us up to the $4 region. And then same thing, I'll be taking some profits along the journey, but Theta's early. So ignore the ones that are gone now. You're going to get those again in a week or two. You'll get them. But for now, where's the ones that are showing the strong strength now? If Bitcoin rallies, which is showing a lot of strength right now, which ones are going to rally with it? And Theta is definitely one of them. Look at our Kusama trade, guys. Look how close we came to a stop loss hit. Remember what we said last week? putting your stop loss under previous low. It's a lesson, guys. It's a lesson. It's a massive lesson. If we are rallying up, we will not make a lower low. That's why you put your stop loss under your previous low. Look how we came down. We touched the same level double bottom and we shot off. So we entered here. We then came down right by our stop losses. Stop losses didn't trigger. Now look. Now you're in the money, baby. Now you can see anywhere in the regions of where you're buying, you're sitting 28% up in 6 days. Come on, guys. Now I take my stop loss up. I've hit my first TP. I know we are starting to break daily trend, the long-term dread daily. So what I'd be waiting for now is I want to push up. I'm focusing on taking some sort of profits, come down, retest daily, buy back in, and then we hit on the next move there. But Kusama worked out beautifully. Now, the next one, which is showing great strength, and it's nearly at the point, is Render. Now, Render, I'm still looking at any buys now between 2.5 and 2.7. I am putting a stop loss at around 2.2 under my low, because this is one that's still early. It hasn't reclaimed its first higher high just yet, and it's showing me that this is going to have a nice little catch-up rally too. And I'm looking at the regions of taking some profits at 3.6, and I'm taking some more at around the 4.6 sort of zone, and it's showing me the same thing. Strong rally, retest, straight back from where we are now, and then continuation to the upward side. So Render's also one I'm ready for now. I'm not chasing the others, but that's one I'm happy with now. Let's go through Solana quickly. Now, Solana's still got a little bit more time. I do believe a Solana run is coming quickly, and I'm going to be focusing on a nice Solana watch list as well with the ecosystem, because, you know, ones like Saber, ones like these tokens, they're going to rip, and they're going to rip strongly. The only thing is, Solana's showing me a little bit more time. Now, I want to see Solana break here. I want to see the retest. And for me, this is such urgent buys or good buys for Solana, because we've been on this long downward cycle. You know, someone asked about fibs, and fibs is a great tool to use at this time, because a fib, what you want to do is, this was a very long impulse down, right? Now you want to see on very high time scale, where can these alts go? You take the fib from the top to the bottom, and you measure up, and the 618 is sitting there and sitting there. So it's showing you how much ground we can still make, even though there might be another leg at some point. No one can say what happens later in the year. But for now, we can see how much growth there actually is. And that's showing that the 618 is sitting around $200. That's 120% on Solana. So for me, I'm not buying until we break of this trend. But the break of this trend I'm buying, and the retest I'm buying. But that's one keep on the radar, because Solana season looks like it's coming. And it looks like the Sol BTC is also getting heated up too. The only thing is, it's in sideways phase now. And when we finally break that daily trend is when we're finally going to get the backing of Bitcoin on that too. So that's looking good. Now, the next one, guys, you're either going to buy breakouts or you're going to buy a retest. That's one strategy, okay? But some of them are either coming down to test support. They're buys right now. Some of them, you have to go put an alarm now. You have to go put an alarm on this near trade here, because the break of this is going to send us quickly into these regions of $14 to $16. That's big gains for me. Now, NIA is starting to show strength now within today. And what is it waiting for? It's waiting for a Bitcoin breakout. Bitcoin breaks that key zone. Guys, you don't want to miss out what is at the end of a wedge. What is showing you that volatility and strength is about to enter. And NIA is one of them as well. So I'm putting a nice little alarm on here, a breakout here, big regions. I'm taking at $14. I'm taking at $16. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the congratulations. I appreciate it. I appreciate it very much. So NIA is another one that's looking good. Now, Luna. Am I back? Yes. I'm back. So as you can see with Luna, is we still have that line, and any close above that showing me we're losing a bit of steam. I think Rand's doing a show today on why he's selling Luna. I think so. So that's quite interesting. And I'm looking for the deadly buys around $70 for Luna. So for me, any close below this line, will give me the indication we're starting to lose a bit of steam. And I'm never afraid of losing some steam because it means I got opportunity to buy cheaper and I got a nice zone to farm some tokens and look at. So holding Luna strong now, but we start to lose this. I actually want to see, this is the two scenarios to play out. Either we crunch to the end of this wedge and we break out, means hold because Luna's going. Or we start to lose some steam where we start to gradually start to close above, and then it's showing we can have a little Bart Simpson play out, stock up more at this zone, and then hold again for the next rally upwards. And it's just going to teach you a method. You made tons of money with Luna. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Only if you have a reason and you have a strategy. I'll only sell Luna here if I can buy back here. Otherwise, I'm not selling it. What's the point if I'm going to miss the rebuy? So that's looking good. I see Tezos is nearly there. So guys, is this not lovely? We got, I think, 10 trades from last week that all broke early and we all catch and we all made money. Now guess what? We have another 10 that are next. They're not 100. They still have another 2-3 days until they're there. But that means I can offload on my RUNE and offload on the trades that I've made money at. And now I can jump onto the next ones because there's a whole bunch of alts that are only getting to daily trends now. We caught some of them last week, which means I can shift some profits today into the next one. And what am I doing? I'm moving to the money now. It's money season, which means you have to take the money too. So XTZ is another one that's looking strength. Let me go through these quickly. Atom, not just there yet. We'll wait patiently on that. I saw Algo was starting to show strength. I see Arweave. Also good, just not on the daily trend just yet. So I'm sort of see Arweave a bit more sideways, and then we know when the true volume will start to come in, but it is ranging sideways, which means I want to be loading up on the bottom levels, or I'm waiting patiently for the daily breaks of trend. I see Moonriver finally woke up a little bit, and this is another lesson that you just got to wait for these trend breaks, and now we start to show a bit of strength. It's obviously got a very long way to go, and we just want to see Moonriver to finally secure us that higher low, that higher high. As you can see here, guys, these highs, we've been clearly trending down, and if we can finally get a break above $80, will finally give us the indication. And then what it will probably do is it'll probably do a little head and shoulders here. We just want to secure that higher high. It's all we want. And you can see how it can basically give us that head and shoulders play that we want to see. So Moonriver is starting to show a bit of strength, which is great. We had GRT breakouts. Who's our XRP lovers? Just pop your in the thing. Is anyone still an XRP lover? I'll chart it for you guys. I'm not to say I own much of it. I own a very little bit of it. But like, is anyone still love XRP? Is it going to do something? What are we thinking? VET. I saw we got our VET breakouts last week. Beautiful. Beautiful breakout. Stop loss at entry. VET is showing a lot of strength as well. We just want that higher high point, higher high, retest, continuation. The EGLD, which was great. There's a few of the other ones I was looking at. Now, ADA, it's quite interesting. Let me actually clear the stuff here. Now, Cardano. Is Cardano finally waking up, or is it doing something? The only thing is the chart showing me we're getting there, but we're not really massively, we're not breaking. The main volume has not come in yet, if I could say. Now, I'll get to MATIC now, guys. Lots of XRP. I see. I wonder why people love XRP so much. It's quite crazy. I love XRP. Please tell me if you love XRP. Tell me why. Please. I want to see why we love XRP. Maybe I'm missing something, and I should be adding some more. So this is big now, guys. So now what we have from Cardano is it's very close. We need the break of $1 to finally secure the first higher high, but this is great. If we close outside here today and we're showing strength on Bitcoin, I want to be adding a bit more to my Cardano position because now we're finally breaking the long downwards trend. Remember what I showed you guys about the fib, where you take it from the top to the bottom? It shows you the amount of growth just for a normal retest zone, and that's back at the $2 region. So that's showing me a lot of strength. And how I'm going to treat this trade is the same. If I'm buying at this breakout here, my stop loss is a bigger range there. I want to buy the breakout, I want to buy the retest, and I want to be ready. As soon as we've had the retest and we shoot off, this stop loss of mine now moves into that zone, and I now let it rip. And I start looking to take a bit of profits around 1.4, 1.7, anywhere in that zone, and some of my long-term I can leave to just ride. But Cardano is showing strength. It's one of the charts that are only starting to look to break daily trend now. We've had a few that already broke last week. So it looks like it's showing good strength, and it looks like it's strong. Okay, XRP. We'll replace fiat. XRP is fundamental. XRP is all money. Okay. Well, let me then do it for you guys quickly. Let me give you my XRP thoughts and what we're looking at with XRP. Let's jump out here. So I still have my little drawings of what I was looking at where it hasn't broken main daily trend yet, but it is getting there. It's getting to that point where hopefully we can get our first higher high, which is around 90 cents. So we want to see it rally here. At any point we break daily trend will be great. I want to load up on that retest and get going. For now, it's still in the still in the daily trend. So that just gives us the indication the main volume has not come in yet. But we'll start looking at really good volume. I think it's waiting for Bitcoin, to be honest. It's waiting for a really strong structural move, but it could move under here a little while. But I think that daily break is something you really want to pay attention to. It's this long wedge we've been playing out. That's actually a very strong bullish wedge, if I must be honest. So a break of this is something you want to be looking at. And obviously, I'll be buying break, retest. I'm sorry, but I am putting a stop loss. That's just the way it works. Doesn't matter the token, but I know XRP can rip very quickly. And the last times it happened, think about it, guys. Here's it here. There's our wedge. You know, you catch these tokens right, you can see how we can really catch a beautiful entry. There's the breakout. Boom. Where are we now? We had a bigger version of that. A way bigger version. That was also a time where XRP went from 22 cents to 80 cents. That's a 4x. You know what I mean? So very similar to this strong move here. These all came from trend breakouts. Look there. Boom. Strong sort of move as well. And now we got a really big one forming. So, you know, who knows? Maybe we finally get a $3, $4 XRP. I'll be ready for it. I'm just putting a stop loss into play. Definitely at that zone. Every day. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay. Anything else? Which other ones that I missed quickly that I can go through? I will be doing some shows at home. So MATIC for me is beautiful, guys. Here's MATIC. Great. Boom. For me, I want to be buying in the zone, stop loss under low, and I'll be taking some profits in this region over here, and I'll be rallying up. So MATIC is one that's looking great for me now, showing a lot of strength now. What else are we looking at here? Rose. I'll have a look at Rose for you guys. Let's look. Do I have my Rose chart here? I can load up Rose for everyone here quickly. It is here. Come and go. Looking good. So Rose has basically started to break out of this daily wedge. So let me put my trend in play here. So you can see we had this wedge in play. It broke out. It tested beautifully. And now it's starting to reclaim its first higher high. So that's a really good sign. Any test here is the buy for me in this little region over here, which is between basically 22 to the 24 cent region. I am taking a little bit around 32 and a little bit around 38 as well in that region. So Rose as well, looking good. It is starting to show a lot of momentum today, so I won't chase the pump. I'll be fussy for those entries. But that's sort of when I want to load it up 22 to 24, because then I have a good stop loss. I have a good risk management going behind it. TLM broke out. I am singing Boy George. I am. Litecoin showing strength. Yes. So guys, I'm going to take a screenshot of all of these as well, and we'll go through them tomorrow. Let's spend this whole week working on the strategies and what we're looking at. For now, things are looking great. Bitcoin is starting to show. It's nearly back at 43, which is good. This is a really good daily candle. Guys, I'm telling you, if we break out this long-term or this sideward phase, we're going to see a massive market eruption. So last week was the beautiful buys for a lot of alts. There's 3 or 4 or 5 that are showing great buys now. Put those stop losses in and focus on taking some money as we start to rally up. But this break of this can really rampage and get everything back into flow and back into action. So let's be a bit more patient with that. I see ETH's back at $3,000. Let's enjoy it, guys. We finally have a little bit of a roadmap of what we're looking at. And I'll be back. I will be shooting from home. I need to spend a lot of time with the little ones. I'll be doing a lot of shows every day. I'll be here doing shows, and let's ride off the momentum. We did very well last week. Remember, guys, CoinPanel. Guys, I've literally increased the staff by 200% on this platform. We have trades everywhere on this platform. We have stop losses, we have TPs. We had 8 out of 10 last week that have already hit TPs. Not one lost last week. Does it, you know, sometimes there's going to be weeks where the money is just not going to be made in the market, but we got stop losses that are hitting. But then we got money where we had 30-40% trades. We had 8 out of 10 of them already hit TPs. Guys, it's a tool for you guys. Make sure you are using CoinPanel. I'm busy at times. I got the little one, but this tool is going to be there for you always, and it is always updated and being looked after. So, Banter fam, I love you all. Thank you so much. I'm going to go hold the little one and go be a dad. Remember, let's stick with the communications with our tools, and I'll be back tomorrow. So have a fantastic day. Get ready. Moneyline season broke. Will this be the true money season that we've been waiting for? Who knows? But if it is, you better be damn ready. I love you lots, Banter fam. I'll see you all tomorrow.